Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we are talking about a writer's real secret weapon. It's not about being perfect on the first try. Not at all. It's about the magic that happens after you get that first draft down on paper. So, yeah, let's dive into the incredible power of revision. Okay, just look at this. On the left, you've got he walked into the room. Super simple, gets the job done. But then look at the right. He stormed into the room, eyes narrowed. You can just feel the difference, right? The second one, it doesn't just tell you what happened, it pulls you in and makes you feel it. So, what's the real difference here? Well, it all comes down to one word: power. The first sentence is just a statement of fact, but the second one, that's an experience. And that is the power you unlock when you choose specific, vivid words. And that is the perfect lead-in to our first section, words that work. Because look, before you can build these amazing, powerful paragraphs, you've got to start with the basics, the absolute building blocks, your individual word choices. Here is a perfect example. The dog barked. I mean, it's a complete sentence. It's totally correct grammatically, but it's also, well, it's pretty flat, isn't it? It gives us the basic information, but there's no feeling, no picture in your head. It just kind of lies there on the page. So here's a little challenge for you. How could you give this sentence more life? What kind of dog are we talking about? What kind of bark is it? Is it a happy bark, an angry one, maybe a really annoying one? Just think about that for a second. And check this out. This shows the transformation perfectly. Instead of just the dog, now we have the little terrier. Boom, you can picture it. And instead of just barked, we get yapped endlessly. Now you can actually hear it, and you can totally feel the poor mail carrier's frustration. See, specific details and stronger verbs, they absolutely bring your writing to life. Okay, so we've powered up our individual words. That's step one. Now, let's kind of zoom out and see how we can apply that exact same thinking to our sentences as a whole. I want you to think about your sentences like a piece of music. Right? If every single sentence has the same length, the same rhythm, the same structure, it's like hearing the same note played over and over and over again. It gets boring, and your reader is just going to tune out. Variety is what makes the music interesting. And improving your sentence flow is actually way simpler than you might think. It's basically a three-step process. First, hunt for those short, choppy, repetitive sentences. Second, combine them using connecting words. And third, and this is so important, read the new sentence out loud. Your ear will tell you right away if the rhythm feels right. Here we go, a classic example of this in action. She ran, it was raining. They're two separate, short little ideas. But by combining them, we get she ran through the pouring rain. It's just smoother, right? It's more efficient, and it creates a single, much stronger image in the reader's mind. Here's another pro tip for you. Mix up how your sentences begin. If every sentence starts with, he did this, or she saw that, it gets really predictable really fast. But look at this simple change. He walked to the door becomes, without a word, he walked to the door. That little phrase at the beginning completely changes the pacing and adds this whole new layer of character, a bit of mystery even. So, we've looked at the nuts and bolts, the building blocks of good writing. But revision, it's so much more than just mechanics. It's really a mindset. It's a creative process. It's an art form. Think about it this way. Your first draft, that's just the beginning. It's the raw material. It's nothing more than the first glimpse of what your idea could truly become. The real magic, the real transformation, it happens in the revisions. That's where you start to cultivate your ideas. That's where the true beauty of your message starts to emerge from that rough initial sketch. And this whole approach, it requires three things. It takes care to really pay attention to the details. It takes courage to be willing to cut what isn't working. And it takes purpose to always remember the core message you're trying to share. And ultimately, this is what revision is all about. It's what transforms you from someone who just writes things down into a true artist. You become like a sculptor, and your words are the stone. And with each pass, with each revision, you're chipping away the excess to reveal the truth and the beauty that was hiding inside all along. When we start to see writing as an art, it becomes more than just a skill, doesn't it? It becomes a gift. And with any gift comes a responsibility. Let's call it a writer's stewardship. Here's a fun fact to think about. Even the Psalms, which so many people believe to be divinely inspired, were crafted with incredible skill and poetic precision. King David didn't just scribble down the first thing that popped into his head. He shaped and revised and polished his words to honor God with excellence. This brings us to a really powerful way to look at this. Spiritual stewardship, when it comes to writing, is just the act of treating your ability to communicate like the precious gift that it is. And you care for that gift by putting in the work, by revising with excellence and with a really clear sense of purpose. It stops being an academic exercise and becomes an act of honor. And all of this brings us to what's really the heart of the matter. We've talked a lot about the craft of writing, the how-to, but what about the character of the writer? This is where our skills and our values have to intersect. The philosophy here is actually pretty simple, but it's also profound. Just having a skill, just being smart, isn't enough by itself. Education without a moral compass can actually be dangerous. I mean, what's the point of being a brilliant communicator if you use your words to cause harm? The goal is to align our intellect with our heart, to have what the book of Romans calls a spiritual mind, which leads to life and peace. And that's really what we want to leave you with today. We've seen that revision is a tool for creating power, for crafting style, and for making art. But it's even more than that. It's a way to be a good steward of the abilities you've been given. So the final question isn't just, will you revise your writing, but something much, much deeper. Your words are a gift. How will you honor them?